Anyway, before we burn through the data,
Okay.
the whole thing was how like financially things are down is what led me to the topic that I wanted to ask about.
Okay.
Financially things are down, not down.
What's financial things? Economy?
Economy.
Okay, economy. Economy
Like,
is down.
you know, when a house reaches a certain age,
Okay.
things have to be done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And it depends on
Maintenance.
the age of the house.
On the house.
Yeah, basically maintenance,
Yeah,
yes.
you gotta maintain your house.
And it goes, I'm sure, by... It's kind of like a human body, you know what I mean?
Yeah?
Your
You're
knees
absolutely
start
correct.
making noises and then, you know, every time you get up, you make...
or something is clicking unnecessarily.
Yeah, what started happening to me is when I like get up, I make involuntary noises.
You know what they say? Yeah. That's when they know you're old, when you do that.
I don't know why it happens.
It's a reflex. It's automatically.
Anyway, the point is, so houses do that, I guess.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
So we'll go step by step. Like, you know, I'll break it down after. We'll do 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, then probably 50 years, 75, and then Casa Loma, you know?
Casa Loma.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We should probably start
It's like
on
unlimited budget and maintenance, ongoing maintenance
yeah, basically.
daily.
I'd love to see their bill.
Casa Loma is just ongoing maintenance.
I'd love to see their bill for the, you know, monthly expenses.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll probably leave that to the end.
Yeah.
Let's start on the low side.
Okay.
When your house is approaching 10 years, your house is turning 10 years old.
Mm.
Is there anything at all? That's a pretty new house. You know, is there anything at all you need to start thinking about it around 10 years?
Yeah. So there are a few things that I would start looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So after 10 years, few things happen. Number one, of course, everybody knows, is the roof.
10 years?
After 10 years, yeah. You got to start. Well, listen, let's be real. The shingles that are being built by the builder are not the best.
I see.
It's not the same quality shingle as that guy that changed the roof and bought it from a private supplier.
Yeah.
Right? The suppliers that builders use for everything, not only the roof, is pretty much basic.
Yeah.
It needs to pass code. We need to get approved by the inspection. That's it. We don't care about anything else. So the roof is not always done right. So for an example, and also let's be real, inspectors don't always go up the roof. They don't. So like for an example, when you're building a roof, the builder, the original builder, will just do aluminum valleys, shingles, and that's it. So water would sometimes through the sides in the valleys will penetrate and everything can happen. Now you're not going to see leakage in your ceiling. That's not how it works. But you're going to see water standing in your attic, which will create mold, and this mold will start appearing on your insulation. Attic insulation, for example, will get, if you have pink insulation, it will start becoming moldy black. You know, now all that, eventually, this is something you're breathing.
Yeah.
Eventually gets into the house. And of course, mold and all that, better to avoid. If there's mold, you try to clean, you replace, you fix. But hold your question for a second. Now, when a private contractor is doing it, so instead of having narrow aluminum valleys, they can put special material like HVAC or like blue skin, whatever. It's glued to the plywood, sheathing, whatever people call it.
Yeah.
Water will not go through. Also, when plywood is being done, what was used, sometimes what happens is you walk on the roof, like plywood when it's being connected. So you got, usually plywood always seats on the roof framing, on the rafters. Now, in between, usually you would use an H profile thingy where you put the two plywoods
And
one into the other, and that just hold it from moving. If the contractor was cheap and didn't do it, you walk on the roof, you get to that area when the plywood is already older and softer,
moving,
you stand and now you reap your shingles. You reap your shingles, water gonna start going through. So with that being said, the contractor doesn't use all those things because they don't care. They give you 1 year warranty.
Yeah, they know that's
Not
their problem. Yeah.
So now when you're building a custom home is a different story.
Of course.
I do all that.
Of course.
Just because I don't want any of my clients to tell their friends that, we built our house 5 years ago with Acadia, and you know what? I wish I went with other company. Like I was walking on the roof, or I was walking on the roof. I went up the roof and I was trying to do something, and all of a sudden it's bent and I broke some shingles. I had some issues. I had to bring a roof repair. I called them. They said that it's not their warranty anymore.
Yeah.
We don't want all this kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So avoid it. So roof. Okay, roof is something.
So that's the first thing. What I wanted to ask is, so if I'm a homeowner, right, approaching 10 years, I'm thinking, okay, it's time to check the roof.
Yeah.
What you said about the attic is the thing is nobody goes to the attic.
No.
You will have no idea. So.
Yeah.
So
less you know, better you sleep. You don't care. Then let's just leave it the way it is.
But so what do they need to do? Do they need to? So basically, actually, before we like for each step of this 10, 20, 30, whatever, what they should do is hire an inspector. Like what should they do to find out?
So it's a very unfortunate situation. You could, first of all, inspection costs like $300, $400 a day.
Okay. Yeah.
You could bring an inspector, just like you evaluate a property before you buy it.
Yeah.
They would go on the roof. They would check all that and everything else. You definitely could. That's actually a great suggestion because you're going to bring a roofing company. They might have an agenda.
They're going to find the roofing problem.
They might have an agenda. I'm not going to lie.
It is.
And you know what's funny enough? What's done minimum code by the builder is something that might work for 10, 15 years, but they will ridicule it as if this is the worst thing you've seen. And now you can't sleep at night thinking about, oh my God, they told me this is not good.
They're incentivized to do so. Like,
yes. You know. So yeah, maybe after 10 years to bring an inspector to check everything out makes sense. Second thing that I would look at is pretty much sealant.
Sealing?
Yeah. Silicone around the windows, the sealant around the windows.
Oh, sealant. Okay, yeah.
All the caulking around the windows usually get dry. After 6-7 years, you would find
cracks.
6, 7. Yeah. My kids, oh my God. I hear that every day. 6, 7.
6, 9. Yeah.
Anyways, so, but after that amount of time, caulking start to crack, depending on which caulking the builder used. Now, believe it or not always they use the right or the best caulking. So,
I totally believe it. Yes.
Surprise. What I'm trying to say is this is something that you should look at. If it's cracked, if it's not good, you bring a trade to fix that.
That sounds like a simpler kind
maintenance. Everything is simple. You look at your foundation walls, whether there are cracks or not. Because what happens is when a house, and inside, but if it's finished, then only outside. Exactly. You're not good. Inside, you will know based on smell. If all of a sudden you have, what do you call this? Mold. You feel moldy kind of smell. Yeah. So that. So you would check for cracks because what happens in the first 5 years after the house has been built, it starts settling. So there will be a crack or two in the foundation. Sometimes it's something that is very big. Sometimes it's not. But after the house settled, maybe it's a good idea to seal those cracks as well.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
So we looked at that. We looked at this.
Yeah, 10 years, I wouldn't expect a huge list.
That's it.
You know?
Oh, and again, if your windows are wooden, then probably I would repaint them.
Oh, I see. The paint starts cracking.
Yes, if you don't paint your windows, paint comes off after a while.
Yes.
And they start rotting. You don't want
Oh,
anything
the protection
rotting.
layer comes off, basically.
Of course.
Oh.
Paint is a protection layer.
Yes.
So as soon as paint starting coming off on wood windows, you want to paint them.
That makes sense.
So, and same garage door. Okay? You know how sometimes you look at the garage door frame and it's like rotten at the bottom? You've never paid attention?
I'm trying to think, like, are garage doors usually wooden? Is that?
Yeah. The frame is always
yeah?
wooden. Always wooden. Always.
Damn, I didn't even think about it.
So what happened is wood touches concrete.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's it. It sucks. What happens is it constantly sucks the moisture out of the slab. So this is one of those builder failures, by the way, that you cannot avoid. Wooden door on a concrete slab, it is what it is. I would leave one half an inch gap and just finish it with either some sealant or something like that.
Yeah, filler.
But I would not want the garage door to touch the concrete.
Okay.
Same as when you're building framing walls on top of concrete foundations. You have to put a gasket in between. For some reason, inspectors are not looking at the same situation where you have a door or a garage door sitting on concrete.
I guess the way that they see it is probably they're like, yeah, it's
No, because it's not a structural issue.
wear and tear kind of.
It's not a structural. That's a design failure. That's a knowledge failure. But this is not something that building code issue or something that will bring to a lawsuit.
Okay. So for 10 years, that's relatively simple. Now let's move on to 20 years.
20 years. So 15 to 20 years, I would look at replacing the windows. Because by that time, the glass sealed unit fails. A lot of people would have fog in between their units. Unfortunately, you could change those separately. Not many companies do that, which I don't know why. It's such a great niche.
Change one window?
So if you have a vinyl window,
Yeah.
builders usually do vinyl windows for the past 30 years.
Yeah.
So all you need to do, you can remove your stopper around the glass. So you put the glass into the unit and you close it with a stopper.
Yeah.
You can remove it, get a new sealed unit, put it in, and that's it. And you pretty much got a good window. Unfortunately, not a lot of companies doing that.
Because they want to make the money on them.
The ones that do windows. But why not handyman?
It's a good question.
Well, I'll tell you why. Because you got to be knowledgeable to do it.
Yeah.
Because every glass thickness is different. If you bring a sealed unit, if it's too thick, the stopper will not close back. If it's too narrow, now you're going to have air coming through. So, so I guess people don't want to deal with it. It's easier to replace the window.
I guess, yeah.
But you would want to maintain your windows, which means if you got fog between your sealed unit, between the two pieces of glass, you need to change your windows.
Okay.
And of course, also changing your windows is kind of good because you can also maintain the insulation. Again, builders are great, but not very. Builders are good, but not great. They install windows. The insulation usually is very poorly done around the window.
Yeah.
So now when you replace your windows, those guys will do a lot of foam around the windows, making sure that the cavity is warm and that you don't have breeze coming through.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So by checking, do you inspect it visually and for if there's air passing, can you feel it?
First of all, yes.
Yeah.
What happened? Another thing that sometimes happens, the builder, when they do the trim around the window casings, sometimes they don't seal caulking around, which don't ask me, especially not on the top because nobody sees it. So why? And you put your finger and you feel breeze coming through, literally through the window.
Yeah.
And people leave like that. People pay bills.
Yeah, they don't realize that their energy bill is
No. So with that being said, this is something that is getting better when you're replacing your windows. You don't have that breeze, number one.
Yeah.
Where were we? I kind of...
Well, I mean, what we learned so far is that if your house was not custom built, then you should just assume that everything was like done.
Even if your house was custom built, sometimes it was built by a very interesting fellas, if you know what I mean.
Better chances, at least, I guess.
Better chances, yes.
But okay, so for a 20-year-old house, windows, what else?
Coffee.
Well, yeah.
Coffee break. 20-year-old...
To be clear, what you said for 10 years will apply again.
Again to 20 as well. But when you're replacing windows and doors, all the openings, with those, you replace the sealant, of course.
Yes, of course.
Right? So that kind of altogether. I would look at the attic.
What's there?
To make sure that there is, even in 10 years, to make sure that there is enough insulation, because what happens is insulation settles sometimes. Now, the whole idea of insulation, the way insulation work, it's not something that you shove into the wall. That's not, if you shove an insulation into the wall or into the attic, it's not going to work properly. The idea of insulation is that it has a certain thickness and there's a lot of air inside. This air, that's what creates the insulation. Right? Standing air, not moving. That's what creates this insulation. If you dense this insulation, it's just going to become cold. So with that being said, insulation in the attic, if it's being wet or moist and the attic is not dry, eventually
it will sag down.
It compresses and it doesn't do its job.
I see. Okay.
So I would check over that time as well, the attic. Okay. Of course, the roof, because maybe after 10 years, you got a roofing company and they didn't do a good job.
Well, yeah. But like we said, so basically whatever is safe for 10 years is going to apply obviously every decade.
But plus windows,
what we say for 20 years is going to apply again.
So technology is getting better, evolving with time, much, much faster than we think. I would look also into water heater. A lot of people discuss with me about, for example, electrical water heater. You know?
Versus gas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So instead of having a boiler, like a big water heater tank, they go tankless.
Is it better?
So I'll tell you what. I always, when people ask me about it, I give them two narratives. So my best friend is an HVAC. Okay. It's my HVAC guy. He's my best friend from literally high school.
Okay.
So I trust him, no problem. And he always tells me, he's like, Max, those tankless heaters, not always. He told me once or twice, okay? Probably 4 or 5 years ago. They tend to break.
Oh, not.
He's like, I don't like them.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm doing it for almost 20 years now. None of the... Oh, and I remember when I built the first laneway, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, when the bylaw just came in. I was building it for my client, who is also a judge in the city of Toronto, like and she could afford back then an electrical water heater, and she had it for 10 years already back then, which is 15 years from ago. And she said, you know what, Max? I love it. She was the first one who I've seen actually physically the water heater in their house. Tons of people use them. I just never, on our construction, I just never actually got to see one already installed. And you know what? After that, she's like, I don't know what your friend is talking about. I love it. And I want the same thing in the garden, in the laneway. That was the first one that we installed inside of this laneway. And since then, I love my friend. He's great. He's very knowledgeable, probably one of the more knowledgeable HVAC guys out there. But I'm giving those two narratives to my clients. This said no, this said yes, 50-50, you want it, I'll install it for you. you know, if the unit gonna fail, too bad, so sad. It fails. But if it's not, and you know what? Didn't have phone calls about it since.
There you go. Yeah,
Didn't.
always got to keep in mind that the person who people call when it breaks will have a natural kind of different view of what it is, because they see it when it breaks.
But it's not that. Yeah. I'm not talking to somebody who sees when it breaks. I'm talking to somebody who has a better statistics because he fixes them a lot, fixes all kind of equipment.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when somebody does appliance repair,
yeah,
and you ask them whether Samsung is good or not as a dishwasher, they know better than anybody else because they fix dishwashers and they have the statistics in their mind. They know, okay, dishwasher, you're not going to buy a Samsung. You're going to buy like whatever, something else.
Yeah, makes sense.
So that's pretty much what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
So, but you know what? I guess this is an opinion that I stopped listening to. A lot of people buy them. A lot of people enjoy them. And, you know, we're going to start 2 garden suites in a couple of months. And both of them are with electrical water heaters. But back to our conversation.
Yep.
Yes, I would check water heaters and the water heater, and I would check the HVAC unit. Maybe it's time to upgrade to something more energy efficient.
Okay.
Right? If you are in a house for 2 years, it doesn't make any sense. It's not a good investment. When you're in a house for 20 years and now you got some equity in it, why not change it for yourself for the next 10 years?
So it's not so much a matter that it's broken necessarily, but more so that technology probably improved in the last 20 years?
Yeah. And efficiency of the unit.
That makes sense.
You know, if the unit that you're buying, so listen, again, going back to the builders. If the builder gives you a unit, it's not because this unit, when the builder installs a unit in a new home, it's not because it's the best unit for this home. It's because his designer, whoever did the drawings, the HVAC drawings, indicated, because that's their interest, the cheapest unit that will work with the calculations, with the amount of air that this unit need to push.
Makes sense.
Cheapest unit.
AliExpress.
No, what's the new one now? Temu.
Yeah.
Still haven't been on this website. I'm worried about it.
I have a friend who loves that website.
Anyways, I haven't been on it yet. But so back to our conversation, because we tend to slide away.
Yeah, we got to keep it on.
Yeah. So maybe it's time for you, even after 10 years, if you have the budget, why not? To get less bills, lesser bills, more energy efficiency, lesser bills. And maybe if, let's say, your furnace is good enough, 80%, and it's good enough to push, maybe you want to get 94%. That will push much more air.
They measure this, like the efficiency?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You don't need to measure. You got the specs on your
I see. Okay.
on your furnace.
I see. Okay.
So you're buying a furnace now.
Does
you
it
don't need the
lose
cheap
efficiency over time? Like kind of like a car engine. It loses horsepower over time. Does it happen?
You know what? I don't even know.
Probably not.
I think we need to discuss with a fella that deals with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably not.
That would be an interesting question to ask.
But anyway.
An HVAC designer.
Okay. So we have that. We have... So far in 20 years, we covered like most of the house.
Yeah, because you know what? Most of the house, interior envelope, is mostly roof, walls.
Yeah.
What do you have in walls besides, let's say, brick or siding?
We didn't get to electrical or plumbing yet.
So plumbing, you don't really need to change if it works. Plumbing, you would change for personal reasons. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
If your faucets work, they work. Electrical, what are you gonna do?
Nothing.
Unless you're renovating your house and opening the walls. What are you gonna do with electrical? Appliances, they stop working. You change them.
Yeah, pretty much.
So really, those are the things that you would want to.
Wait, so does that mean that now, there's no point moving on to 30, 50 years, 75 years?
No, there is point moving out because you are just not happy with the house you're in for many reasons.
Yeah.
One reason could be the family is growing and you need a bigger house.
Oh, no, well, that's a different situation.
Yeah. But otherwise, yes, if you're happy with your house and you're maintaining all those, you should be fine.
Well, I guess let's look at it a little bit from a different perspective, slightly different. So we covered 10-year house, you need to check this. And 20-year house, you need to check. Basically, we covered most of the things. And already in 20 years, you basically have to check everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, if you have a 50-year house, 50-year-old house.
Oh, I'll tell you one
Let's look at it from a perspective from
Hold
now.
on. One more thing you should look, not only in 20 years, but also 10 and maybe even right away, I would do.
What?
I didn't think about it. So I don't know if you know, but have you ever seen houses? So every window has a seal, right?
Yeah.
This seal sometimes is made of soldier brick. So there's a concrete seal, gray concrete seal, right? That you know.
Yeah.
But sometimes instead of a seal, you got soldier bricks.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen it before?
I think so. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So after a certain amount of time, when rain is coming in, it penetrates all those gaps, concrete gaps, and water can go inside. So by the way, those soldier seals are terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. When I come and I renovate something that has to do with the outside, I always replace it. I have a guy who comes in, literally, he's a bricklayer guy, but he doesn't do full houses bricks anymore because he makes money on that. And I just pretty much, because it's fast. To remove a seal and to put a new one takes 20 minutes, believe it or not.
Wow, that's really fast.
And when you got like 15 seals.
Yeah. That's great.
Good day, right? Good day.
Yeah.
Good day. If you charge like, let's say, I don't know, like $100 or $150 or $200 a seal, including the material.
Yeah,
it's not expensive, and for them but anyways, so those seals definitely should be checked. And after 20 years, 100% replaced because water do tend to get behind them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, makes sense.
Now, also what people don't realize that when the fact that water gets behind the seal, it's fine. It should be. Mm-hmm. But if the vapor barrier, so I don't know if you know, but when you see a brick house, before that there's a there's of course
behind it, you mean?
Wood framing.
Yeah.
And what saves the wood framing from water coming in is a vapor barrier. It's like
plastic.
Plastic. Plastic
Sluter?
layer. Yeah. So people think that regular people would say, yeah, but you have brick. Brick should not hold water from going inside. The way the house is built, water should go inside, but then come outside at the bottom.
Okay.
Remember, I think I was telling you there in the brick, every third or fourth brick, you would have a gap.
Yeah.
Which people don't know. They think that it's not good and they just cover it.
Yeah.
With mortar. Because they're like, oh my God, my builder didn't do it right. Yeah. No, so those are drainages for water to come out.
Okay.
So water should go in and out. But what happens is, if you replaced your window and your window company, and unfortunately it happens, did not put a new vapor barrier. They just cut it off. Because, when you break the window out, it's pretty much rips all the barrier.
Makes sense.
If they didn't replace it or do it right or finished it right, your wood is going to be rotting.
So you think you improved your house, but you in fact just created a disaster.
Because the damas that came in to replace your windows, all they know is how to break the first window up, put the new one in with like 4 or 6 screws, and they think that's it. That's what window installation is all about.
Yeah.
I think I was telling you that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
When I was a window installer, right?
When you were in Windows?
So when I was a window installer, when I was a framer, I installed windows and doors as well. Yeah. Before architecture and before Acadia and all that. That's, by the way, why I know what I know. Luckily, you don't go to school to learn how to do framing or how to install windows. You have to work for someone. You become an apprentice, you learn, and then you start doing it yourself. So I knew that I need to replace vapor barrier because I saw my installer doing that.
Yeah.
But when you're in your own little bubble of doing windows, you don't really understand what's beyond that bubble. When I went to architectural school and I realized that this is just part of water going out, down and all that, I realized how important that factor is and how many people that I did jobs for, not even understand. I did it without understanding why I'm doing that. So imagine I could say one day, maybe I don't need it anymore.
Yeah.
Luckily I didn't. But I've seen other installers don't do that. I just did it because that's how I knew to do the work. But when I realized how important that stage is, first of all, I remember like today sitting in Architecture 101. My professor, Gianni, was drawing a section of a building. And he's like, well, this is vapor barrier. It connects below to make sure that water don't go inside. And I'm like, oh, that's what I did all these years.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy S, what if I didn't do it?
That would have been a much worse realization. Like, all those
And then
houses.
I'm thinking, but I got a good buddy who didn't do it and was always asking me, why am I wasting money on that? You see, so how many people live with rotten framing all over everywhere without even knowing because their window installer didn't know how to do it. So if you have, back to the seal, if you have this seal made out of bricks, even if you have caulking between the window and the brick,
that's not enough.
eventually the sealant when it's wet all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you have mortar between the bricks, mortar is like a sponge sucking water, and it sits there for longer than if it was just a stone seal.
Yeah, makes sense.
So water sits in there, the sealant unglues it from the brick eventually, your caulking that you do around the window eventually unglues and water starts penetrating inside.
I see.
And that happens fairly quickly.
I think basically a good rule of thumb is anything water related is very important.
Yeah, water management. I call this thing, I find nobody, because I'm coming from the commercial field as well. I did curtain walls, big systems. Like I've done a lot over the years of being a contractor in the trade. But water management is a term that is being used in commercial practice more than residential. So you would use it for curtain wall systems, water management, because water, you can't avoid it. You need to manage it.
Yeah.
Like all those buildings, glass buildings that you see, did you ever know that water goes into the frame inside?
No, I wouldn't have guessed so.
It goes inside, but it's supposed to come outside below. And pretty much just like a huge gutter, water goes in between frame and frame and frame. And you have to manage it to make sure that it doesn't come out in the middle of the building.
It sounds like a good idea to seal everything off. But
No. Not always you need to seal everything off.
No, yeah.
You need to lead the water.
Yeah, exactly. It's better.
You need to lead the water.
Because if you seal it, sooner or later, the seal will go bad.
So sometimes what happened, let me tell you about another failure that you want to look after in 1 second. So water management is a commercial term that I use a lot with my residential clients. They're like, ooh, sounds big, water management. But really, water management is caulking. Water management is vapor barrier. Water management is connecting the vapor barrier from the roof correctly with the walls to make sure, like, you're not going to do the roof barrier and then the wall barrier because the water going to go inside. You need to do it the other way around. You start from the bottom to the top to make sure that water doesn't there's no seam.
Yeah.
Because if you start from top to the bottom, you overlay the top layer, now the water can go in between.
Yeah.
Okay, so water management is something that I am very strict about when it comes to houses.
Has to be, yeah.
Because sometimes the repairs are very expensive. The last thing you want is to remove bricks
Of course.
So when it comes to when we do our builds, they're being checked by inspectors. But I'll tell you the truth, I do not trust our inspectors. When it comes to water management, I don't let anybody start the next step until I personally come in on site to review all that.
Good. Yeah.
Because these things you cannot teach in school.
Super quick question.
Yeah.
Relevant, but is Schluter used on the outside?
No.
Like on the exterior behind the brick or whatever?
So there are different systems that are being used on the outside, like Tyvek, Blue Skin. Blue Skin is just more expensive.
Why not Schluter? If it's kind of same purpose.
Schluter, I don't know. It's not advertised. Listen, you can always go online, check in the specs. We just been on the building show. And honestly, I would love to ask that question. I would love to ask that. But I'll tell you what, I'm going, they invited me for training, 2 days training.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Great.
For 2 days training. And I'm going to go soon because, as I said, I love to be on top. Me, and by the way, I'm going to take my 3 crews of installers, tile installers.
Honestly, they should sponsor this podcast because, we've been raving about them for, I don't know, long.
Hey, maybe we can contact them. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is maybe it is. We need to check the specs. I'll be honest with you. Not something I would use yet because it's not conventional or natural to the building. And probably would be very expensive.
Yeah, that's
what
I was
Schluter
thinking,
is not cheap. It's very expensive. So I do believe it probably would work. But there are easier and cheaper solutions yet on the market. Okay. Now, back to another thing that I wanted to tell you. So how water management can be done, how you said, just seal everything. So you know how on top of the window, there is a lintel sometimes, a steel lintel. A metal piece that holds the brick. Because otherwise...
Is that to distribute load?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me go from the beginning. If you don't know, probably our friends at home also don't know. So when you have a window, right? And you got a lot of brick on top of the window. So you got a window on the first floor and bricks go all the way to whatever.
Yeah.
Those have a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So if you don't put anything to support those bricks, it will cave the window and break the window. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
You have an opening. Whatever is above so it's a load-bearing thing. So you put there, just like you would put a beam inside of the house, you put a metal L-shaped piece. It's called a lintel.
Okay, makes sense, yeah.
Okay? You've seen them probably, it's red piece of metal.
Probably when I see
just like a beam, an I-beam, but it's an angle like this, red as well.
Okay.
Check it out. It on top of every garage door that has brick, on top of every...
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So on top of windows and garage doors, there is a lintel. Now we'll move to garage door instead of a window because it's the same thing, but people usually do see it on top of the garage door. Some paint it. It becomes, it has corrosion sometimes. So some will paint it, will clean it and paint it. Those are the smart people. Some will cover it with aluminum. So when they're replacing their windows and their doors, the installer would come to you and tell you, oh, do you want me to cover it? For $200, I can cover it. And you're like, oh, you know what? That's great. Now I will never have to maintain it. And he's like, yeah, that's right. You know what happens?
It's corroded inside.
Exactly. Now with the years, just like with silicone and brick, they put this aluminum piece to cover it.
Yeah.
After a year, the silicone starts coming off the brick, or 2 years, because of water and moisture. There's water seats inside of the aluminum next to the brick. There's a lot of evaporation because it's hot in the summer, cold in the winter, goes through it. And then you remove it and your lintel is all full of corrosion and sometimes can even fail.
Yeah.
And people don't know that. We had a lot of situations where all of a sudden the brick started cracking. People don't know why. And literally everything looks great. And I'm like, oh, you got an aluminum covering your garage door.
And can you inspect it to see if it's okay or not?
Inspect what?
the metal piece.
Well, if you don't see any cracks, nothing, that means it's okay. But I would definitely remove it still. But let me tell you how you do it right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you see bricks somewhere, you see cracks in the mortar, you know that the lintel is failing.
Okay.
That happens a lot. But how do you do it right? So you can do an aluminum piece to cover all the wood of the garage, but you don't cover the lintel all the way to the top. You leave it exposed a little bit, and then you caulk your aluminum piece to the lintel. This way, water that goes from the brick, it's going to continue going down.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So this way, the lintel breathes.
Yeah.
So you can still, yes, it's not the kind of maintenance you would want, but listen, it covers the wood.
Well, listen, the conversation, the topic we're having is, the maintenance that has to happen. That's kind of the point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't avoid certain things. There's where
As a house owner, as soon as you buy a house, you pretty much sign for, expenses.
Yeah.
Maintaining
100%.
the house. Yeah.
100%. So, okay, so let's move on to the, you have a 50-year-old house, okay? Yeah. Really, it sounds like basically by then...
Have to take it for a checkup to the doctors.
Well, yes. At 50, you...
What do you call this checkup with...
Huh?
Whatever, I don't remember.
What do you ask?
The checkup that you do...
A prostate exam?
Yeah, prostate exam. I have to take it for a
prostate exam. Yeah, the 50-year-old house. I'm not sure what's the equivalent.
Hey, plumbing.
Oh. Yes.
Plumbing.
Yeah, exactly.
All the sewers.
The sewers, yeah. The sewers is a good comparison. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in a 50-year-old house, basically considering...
Usually it gets clogged.
Considering what we covered, basically you should have checked everything by now. But let's look at it.
Well, no. Now at the 50-year, you check everything that you did in 20.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's not like everything was covered 30 years ago.
Let me ask you in a different perspective, because that will give us something to talk about. A 50-year-old house that was built, we're in 2025, almost 2026, 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know houses, the building code was completely different?
Of course.
Everything was completely different. So if you were looking at a 50-year-old house currently that was built 50 years ago, what would you be kind of looking at, considering what the building code they had? They had lead piping. They had all kinds of crap.
So listen. Yeah. No, it's not.
Just move out.
No. It's not like you don't move out. All those pipes and whatever, it's not like you're going to start redoing your house for that, and it's not like you got all the electrical, you're going to start opening walls for it. It works and it works. That's it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So I would check for exactly the same thing. The same things. Yes, if you're renovating your house by that time, which I hope you do.
You'll have no choice.
Definitely. You redo everything, which means new piping, new electrical, new sewer systems, because some have clay. Not 50, but 100-year-old house or 80-year-old house. They got clay pipes. Those break inside of the slab, and you don't even know that. Some people smell sewers in their basement, not even knowing that the clay pipe, caved in, broke under the slab.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's amazing. Oh, I didn't go to my basement. Why not? Oh, it smells like. Why? Well, I don't know why. And then I go in there, I smell it, and I'm like, yeah. You got fumes coming out because the pipe broke, and over the years, you pretty much have everything collecting under your slab.
The thing is that with these old houses, it's like you told me before, that if you touch anything, now it has to be by new code.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Well, no. Not really.
Anything,
not
but
anything,
a lot of things.
So there is section in the building code that people don't know about. It's called Renovations. Part 11 of the building code. There are many things that are being that are allowed to be built to the time where the code was built,
Oh, okay.
to the time when the house was built, and to those codes. The reason is very simple. If you'll go to a 100-year-old house, for an example, their stairs are narrower. So
Yeah.
when you're renovating the stairs, you're not going to be able to achieve 3 feet stairs because there's no space.
Is that the standard now?
Sorry?
3 feet is the minimum?
Yes. 210, I think, a stair. 210 or 3.
Okay.
One of the two. We do 3 all the time. That's why it's like, but 210, I think, the minimum. 2 feet 10 inches. Also, in the older houses, the insulation in the walls is thinner, is worse. But if you're going to do it to a new code, now where the stair is, you're going to have to beef it up, which is impossible
Yeah.
because you're going to have a narrower stair.
Okay.
So there is sections in the building code which will
I see. Okay.
overwrite those sections saying that if you have this and that house that it's built like this, you can live it as per
If you do
existing conditions.
if you open a wall in a 100-year-old house and you're doing anything electrical, are you going to be obligated to like bring it to a new standard?
Electrical?
Yeah.
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 Makes sense. Because
Yeah.
100-year-old electrical looks very different from what we have today. So I have a friend who lives in if I'm not mistaken, his house is 80 years old. All kinds of
God.
all kinds of things
my
happen there. Yeah.
I would so not want to get an older can of worms. But listen, it's a certain lifestyle. A lot of people are like, oh, we're going to buy it. You know what's funny? Young couples, especially, they romanticize everything. We're going to get an older house
kind of like,
in Midtown Toronto because we like character. And we're going to sit there and we're going to renovate everything as they do on HGTV, DIY projects, and everything is going to be beautiful 6 years later. I can't do this anymore. Get somebody or I'm divorcing you.
Yeah, exactly. But
fix it or I'm divorcing you.
But I do think like Cabbagetown or whatever, heritage houses, they're very cool. Like
heritage house, I wouldn't want to get into because everything you do
you're not
outside
allowed
of this house,
to touch
you're not allowed to touch. And it's a problem on its own.
Yeah, they are beautiful though, like inside.
And those applications cost.
Yeah, I guess if you buy a heritage house,
10 grand, you just need to get the permits to approve to replace the windows on your house.
What determines?
Like windows don't need permits, but when you deal with a heritage home, all of a sudden you need the city to allow you to replace windows.
What determines?
Now, they will allow you to replace to something that looks like the original windows, which is going to cost you 3 times more than regular windows.
Course.
You're going to pay another $10,000 on top to get the permits and the approvals. You're going to have to hire somebody like Acadia to do all that for you.
Of course.
And I don't want that kind of headache.
Yeah. Is heritage home just age, or is it like that it has to have some kind of history?
It's an age.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like Albert Einstein lived in this house, therefore it's heritage. No. It's specific age, a house that remains standing, specific, that is old enough to be a heritage home.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does that mean that any house, once it reaches a certain age, becomes a heritage?
No. They pick specifically.
Oh.
They they look through the city, and they have their own committee, heritage committee, that literally drives around the city, sees what they have, and decide. And you can live in a house, and tomorrow they send you a letter from today on your house considered to be heritage.
Oh wow! Is that good or bad?
Time to sell.
Well, is a heritage home more expensive or cheaper?
I don't think if it's more expensive or cheaper to buy, it's more expensive to maintain.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I wonder if it affects. I would imagine the heritage homes are more expensive, if I had to guess.
I think they are.
Just because it's kind of
Listen,
it's like the school thing.
Again, when you buy a classic car,
Yeah.
versus a new car, what do you think going to be more expensive to maintain?
Ooh, that's not a simple question because
It's a very simple question.
But new
because
cars are so much
it's a very
more
simple
complicated.
question. No, but you don't need to do much with a new car, and they're complicated electronically. But listen, if I buy a new car, I got warranty on it for the first 2 years.
If you have warranty, then you don't care.
Well, same with when you buy a new house, right? It's from the builder, you have warranty, you got all that. But heritage home, you don't know what you're buying.
Based on
And the parts for this home, just like a classic car, sometimes are very difficult to find.
Custom, probably.
And now everything is custom, and now you're paying a lot of money.
True.
No, don't even compare.
That being said, considering what you said,
don't be you right now, just to argue for the sake of
considering
argument.
what you said during this podcast, I wouldn't rely on any warranty on my built house anyway.
Listen, it's problematic. I'm not gonna lie, but yet again, it's a different level of issue.
Yeah. Okay.
Still, to replace a heritage roof that's done with clay shingles and all that versus a roof from a builder, the costs are different.
Okay, well, we kind of covered it. I mean, unless you want to cover Casa Loma just for the fun of it, I don't know. If you own a Casa Loma, what you should be thinking about in terms of maintenance.
Casa Loma is an ongoing construction, as I said. It's pretty much, it's like having any estate home, big home, but it's pretty much like city renovation. By the time they finish the road here and start on the other side, it's time to maintain it again.
Of course, it never stops.
So same with Casa Loma and all that. If you want to maintain something to look like it was, and heritage and all that.
What's interesting actually is, Casa Loma is now government owned, right?
No, it's not.
It's not?
I don't think so. Is it?
I know it was a private house before, and then it was repossessed because
I
you
think
couldn't
actually
pay
it's
taxes.
considered to be as a museum now or something like that.
Yeah. It was government.
I think it is
no?
government. Yeah.
But
They
the
have
thing
their own
is,
budget.
right across the road, right by, like, to the side of Casa Loma, there's a house, private house, like private people live there. That is, it's basically kind of like Casa Loma, just a smaller version. Now that house is probably, that's a private person maintaining that. I don't even know. You probably need like a person living there who is constantly just doing stuff.
So the idea is that those houses are very expensive to maintain. You definitely probably have some kind of maintenance company that sends a person constantly on daily basis, if not having full-time maintenance on coming to your house.
So there you
go. But listen,
go.
at the end of the day, and I'm not giving any suggestions, what do you say when something is not 100%?
60% of the time works.
No, not 60. Allegedly, they have a company where they have a position of somebody in their company, and this person just pretty much doesn't work in the company. But
sure.
Allegedly, I don't know. But listen, it's.
So basically,
when you live in that kind of house, that the maintenance is so expensive, that means you have few employees here and there that work for you, and therefore you have the budgets to allocate one of your employees pretty much to do not your business, but this other thing.
So
but you show it as an expense.
If you buy a regular house that is like approaching 100 years old, you're basically have to realize that you're gonna have to like rebuild a ton of stuff in that house.
I'll tell you what, if I buy a house that's 100 years old today,
today,
unless it's fully renovated, well, I wouldn't want to buy a fully renovated house, 100-year-old. I would want to do it myself because I don't know what kind of forms I'm getting into.
Exactly.
But I would probably gut everything out from the inside. If I like the character, which is fine, I appreciate people that like a character of a house. That's amazing. But I would probably rip everything out and redo everything from the inside, which means insulation, studs. No, studs depends, right?
You gotta look for little
sometimes
signs.
those houses don't even have studs. They have double brick. They're made of brick, double brick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not just a finish as new houses, but they would actually made out of double or triple layer of brick. So sometimes they don't have studs. They have just stripping and stuck on top.
Wow, true.
So you don't even have insulation.
So why does everybody rave that the quality of the houses used to be so much better?
Yeah, because quality has nothing to do per se with insulation, although it also partially that as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's because technically they were doing things right. Like right now, a house that you're buying supposed to have a certain amount of insulation, they will put it. But because the vapor barrier is not done right or something else is not done right, air is still going through, or windows and doors. Therefore, your house does not maintain the level of tightness it's supposed to maintain. Back then, people were doing things right.
I'm just imagining if you're the owner of Castle Loma, you built your castle, you know what I mean? And then you talk to the person and they're like, yeah, we're going to need to change the roof in 10 years. And you're like, 10 years? Let's throw this guy in jail.
No, but listen, for an example, I'll give you an example. Again, Windows, going back to Windows. I've seen a lot in my life. When you're installing Windows, building code dictate how often you have to shim the window so that it's shimmed in before you screw it in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, like 1.5 feet or something like that. Especially vinyl windows because they're so...
Pliable?
Sorry?
Pliable?
The material is soft. It bends.
Yeah, that's not pliable, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then you screw all those through the seams. Mm-hmm. You screw the window because you don't want it to bend, mm-hmm. right? You don't even understand how many people would just put 2 shims or none in the windows. They'll just put 4 screws and they foam it, and the window is in the foam, not moving. You know what happened with the years? Foam start getting softer again with the water, because this kind of people usually don't put vapor barrier back. Now you got water coming in, sitting around. Your foams get moist and softer, and your windows starting sagging.
Yeah. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. And there's no way to know.
And you know what's even the worst? I was watching, speaking of windows, there is a YouTube channel mm-hmm. where a guy doing renovations, mm-hmm. construction. You know how many times I see things are done incorrectly on YouTube? And they're proudly teaching other people how to do stuff.
We should film that, you know. So basically what I learned is that within 20 years, you're going to have to check everything in your house, basically.
Yeah. Damn. Listen, it's like having a car.
I thought it lasts longer.
It's like having a car. After 20 years, usually you would have to replace everything in it.
You know, it's funny. It was a house. When you're buying an older house, you should pay attention to little things. It's like a comparison to when you buy a used car. If you see that the tires are some kind of brand that you never heard of, you know it was run on a tight budget.
Yeah.
So
it's so true.
You keep that in mind, you know.
Or if you're buying your car in the summer and instead of washer fluid, you got water.
Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Yeah, people do that. That's some crazy.
Yeah. In the summer.
That sounds. I understand being frugal, but like that's something else. You know what I mean? Anyway, okay. Well, I hope people learned about. I just thought that basically, no matter what, you know what I mean, people may be holding off with the renovations or not holding off with the renovations, but certain things come up in your house, and you have no choice but to take care of it.
Exactly. So, and right now, specifically now, this is the market. Right now, people don't do anything. But mm-hmm. back to the beginning of what we discussed. But I do think that people will understand that maybe instead of just moving, it's a different market. I think in Canada, what's going to happen now. So let's start, because I have tons of thoughts in my head. Let's just put them all in order. You know how in Europe, for an example, it's traditionally people just buy one apartment and they live there forever. It's not, we in North America tend to move every 5 to 10 years.
Yeah,
we tend to switch houses. This is something that is not very common in the world.
No,
in the world, people don't do that. And people don't do it in the world mainly for financial reasons. Okay? Because in Europe, for example, or other places in the world, to get a house is an achievement, and it's a lifetime.
It's a big goal. Yeah.
A goal, and it's a lifetime job kind of thing. And people, while living in an apartment, would do 2 or 3 times renovations during their lifetime.
True.
So I think that Canada getting towards that kind of situation where people will not switch houses that simply anymore.
Probably.
And they will live in the same house and they will renovate. And I think that renovation, well, construction is not, it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that, I know that everything is going to get back eventually to normal, but people going to start investing money into their own houses. They will get attached to their own houses more than it was before. I definitely agree. Yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah. And you know what? It wasn't, it's kind of more, recent, not as in 5 years, but the development of moving houses constantly, because even in North America, there used to be more of a concept of family home. You know what I mean? They used to have like a family house kind of where,
multi-generational kind of
generational homes. Yeah,
I don't know. I saw North America as actually very people like their own privacy and everybody lives in their own house.
Oh yeah. Well,
people usually you'll find multi-generational houses in, for example, in Indian homes, in Muslim homes, but this is due to
it's cultural. It's not
cultural. Exactly. This is cultural. European culture, North American culture is not like that. It's the opposite. It's like, for example, don't ask, and I'm not a Muslim, so I wouldn't know, nor an Indian, but don't ask a Muslim or an Indian family to send their parents to a what do you call it?
Nursing home.
Nursing home.
Yeah.
Don't. That's an insult.
Yeah.
We take care of our elderly because they took care of us, because there is respect, very big respect.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But on the other hand, a North American person would be like, listen, Mom, Dad, you're too old. Maybe it's time for you to move to a nursing home.
Anyway, we should probably avoid that.
No. Again, we shouldn't even get into a conversation here. But I find that we actually going to get more into it now.
True. Some Asian cultures are also like this. In fact, some Asian cultures, I don't remember which specifically, but some of them, it's like an honor for the kids. They kind of like fight each other about which one of them is going to be taking care of.
Usually the youngest would take care of the parents.
Makes sense.
The youngest. So, but with that being said, this is the idea. You can see the future of the Horseshoe area, the city of Toronto, the Ontario, Canada. That's why you're allowed now multi-unit house. That's why you're allowed the triplex, fourplex.
I think ultimately this will lead to good things, because if you think about it, if this in fact happens, that more people, stay in their house for longer, it should just logically lead to better construction. Nice, like the people will renovate, like more kind of mindfully. And not because it has an issue, people moving every 5 years. It's what leads to this kind of logic that is like, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be here. So, just do whatever.
You're absolutely correct.
So
it's not that it's going to change the construction. It's going to change the attitude towards
quality. Quality. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah.
So,
because right now, oh my God, the roof is leaking. This, windows are bad. Let's just quickly paint it. Let's just quickly patch up the roof. Paint the shingles. You don't even know that's a thing. Paint the shingles black and leave.
Why did they do that? Why paint the shingles
black? The roof looks new.
Well, true. Yeah. It's it. It's like Botox.
Yeah. Just like that. Anyways.
Yeah, fair enough.
What do you think? Did we have enough for today?
Yeah. I just wanted to kind of like split it up into which is basically really what happened. I thought there's going to be more to it in terms of 30-year-old or 50-year-old house, but really by 20 years...
It's the same things. Listen, there's only so much life you get in caulking. So
Yeah.
unless you stop using caulking and you find a different solution, caulking has to be maintained. If caulking lifestyle is 10 years, you have to maintain it every 10 years.
But is there caulk that lasts much longer?
I don't know. We should look into the specs. I never paid attention to it, to be honest with you, because you just see you just see it. I don't know. Like when you see bed caulk on the windows, you don't really start asking yourself a question: when was it?
Yeah.
When was it put on? You just know that you need to replace it.
The one part that really blew my mind is I would have thought that a roof lasts more than 10 years. Well, like them, that's...
So they advertise some 15, some 30 years, but really shingles altogether, 10 to 15 years.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there you go. Give us a call if you live in a 20-year-old house.
I'm not going to install. What do you mean give us a call? I'm not installing nobody's shingles.
No, not for shingles.
Give me a call if you want a good house.
Not for shingles. But since you're doing shingles, you might as well renovate.
You might as well fix the whole house. It's like one of those contractors. Hey, hi, is this Max? Yes, I'm looking for a new roof. New roof, eh? Okay, I'll be there. Oh my God, your drywall is crooked. Oh my God, your windows need it. Oh my, get out of the house. It's 2 months.
You know what? We're joking, but I bet that happens a lot in the sense that when people are like, oh, we have to do windows, and they're like, well, why don't we like renovate? We wanted to renovate.
But that's what I'm telling you. When you're calling a roofing guy, what's their agenda?
Oh, they're incentivized to tell you that the roof is garbage. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, by the way, the one smart thing you said today, which I think people should take
This is pretty rare. So,
everything else was iffy. But that one's what, no, I'm just kidding. The smart thing you actually mentioned is maybe it makes sense to get an inspector in every 10 years just to kind of review your house and...
just find a good inspector.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like some of them are...
Imagine some of them are like, your roof is bad. There you go. This is a card. Call this guy. That's an agenda. That's an agenda.
That probably happened.
That's an agenda.
Oh, well, all right. Before we make too many enemies here.
If you see... What do you mean enemies? I don't care. I care about my clients and about the people that are watching it. If you see... Listen, I always say to my trades, I'm not working for you. I'm working for the people. So I'm not going to cover your crap.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't want to redo it? Get the hell out of here. If there's an issue. But I guess what I'm saying is when you're calling an inspector to check something, it's a good inspector if they don't shove you anybody's card. If they come in without any agenda.
Fair enough.
Right?
If you ask them, is it okay then?
If what?
Like if I hired an inspector to come in, he's not trying to give me any cards, but then I ask him like, do you know somebody? Then it's like different, basically.
Yeah, that you could do, but I would not do that. Or I would get their person and bring a second opinion still.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you, that every client that we do construction for, they call us because they want something, but that I divide the process in two. I do all the permits and everything for them and then give them the quote as per the drawings.
Oh, okay.
I don't just throw... what's the reason for it?
I don't know. What's the reason?
Because my clients have all the right in the world, after working with our company, going through all the permit stage, seeing the ethics of our company, to leave to somebody else. You should not be stuck if you don't feel comfortable.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Some would say, oh, Max, you're so stupid. You should have...
Log them in?
You should log them in, just a full construction, grab down payment for... I don't want to do that. I don't have to do that.
Yeah, you must finish it with us. And if you don't, we own the house.
But if you don't like how we're doing our job...
Yeah, of course.
Go get an article. Or if you find somebody who's cheaper and you think you want to go with them, to those in home, I would not suggest always to do that. Go. Then you're not my client. Go. I'll be there for you. I'll even be there for you through your design process because I did the permits with inspections and all that, whatever necessary. But go.
That's great. Yeah.
There's a saying. Stupid people pay twice.
Yeah, I always heard that poor person pays twice. Yeah.
That too.
Yeah.
But usually poor person doesn't have to be stupid.
Oh no.
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is the one thing I believe in is a freedom of operation, of everything that has to do with freedom.
Yeah, for sure.
My clients don't have to be there because they have to. I want them to want
Yeah,
to be
for
there.
sure.
So therefore, when somebody comes in with an agenda, if I'm doing everything, or
True.
you know what I mean? If a roofer comes in and tells you have to replace the whole roof, bring another roofer to check that out. If if an inspector comes in, you got a problem with your foundation, and I have the guy for you, say yes, but bring another foundation guy for a second opinion, maybe even third guy.
It's like they're salespeople. They're not, not what their profession is. They're in sales.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, but
everybody's somewhat in sales. But
I think that I'm a great contractor, but I'm also a salesman.
No, you have to be.
My job is to sell my product to my client, but not with all means necessary. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
That's what I mean. Yeah. There are people who are just pure. They're like, their whole mindset is the sale is what matters. That's it.
Yeah, no.
As many sales as big as possible. That's the only goal.
Yeah, no.
So yeah,
I do not believe in that approach.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, calling it a day.
Yeah,
it's Friday.
The cameras are already on weekend mode apparently.
Yeah, I know. They just decide when they want to go off.
That's
They're
so
like,
crazy,
Max, time to go home.
Yeah.
But anyways, Archie, thank you very much, buddy. Awesome having you here. Guys, thank you very much for listening to this episode. I hope you listened all the way to the end and enjoyed it. And like, subscribe, and hopefully you're going to enjoy our content even more. And we'll see you next time. Until then, back to work.